चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्तवृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So yesterday we were reading this verse from Ramayana spoken by Lord Ramchandra, and is confirmed in the Yuddha Kand of Ramayana. Lord Ramchandra says that it is my duty and vow to give all protection to one who surrenders unto me without reservation. One may develop the desire to enjoy fruitive activities, liberation, jnana, or the perfection of the yoga system. But if one becomes very intelligent, he will give up all these paths and engage himself in sincere devotional service to the Lord. But when will this happen? When one becomes intelligent. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.10 confirms that an intelligent person, whether free of desires or full of desires for material enjoyment or desirous of liberation, should engage in intense devotional service, which means no matter what is our position, somebody can be very renounced, has no attachment. I have no attachment to my family, I have no attachment to wealth, I am okay with this also, I'm okay with that also. If you ask me to sleep on the floor, I'm okay with that. If you ask me to sleep on the bed, I'm okay with that. So some people are very renounced by nature. Whether somebody is like that, or whether somebody always is hankering that I want to enjoy, I desire this, I desire that, this also I like, that also I like, sab kuch chahiye. No matter what our position, whatever situation is, what our mind is like, what the mindset is, but one should engage in intense devotional service. Let be whatever the situation of the mind is, doesn't matter. From the mind, it may be that I want this, I want that, this, give. Okay, no problem. But at the same time, intense devotional service should be done. Intense devotional service, when it is done, automatically all these things will come out. All this kachra will come out of the mind, of the system, not just mind, the entire system of our system. Those who are ambitious to derive material benefit from devotional service are not pure devotees. But because they are engaged in devotional service, they are considered fortunate. So, what is being said? That there are some people who are doing devotional service. They will be chanting, they are attending Hari Katha, they are doing Kirtan, they will go to the temple, they will do some charity, everything they are doing, but there is an ulterior motive, knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or subconsciously. At the back of their mind, their ultimate thing is that I want shanti, like everything should be fine and the relations should be fine, my family should be, health should be fine, my health should be fine, the money, the finance situation should be fine. This is ulterior motive. But even if this is the situation, because they are engaged in devotional service, they are to be considered very fortunate, because very few, rarest of rare souls are able to come to this path of devotional service. Other path, it is easy to take, but devotional service, although it is the easiest, still people are not fortunate enough to take up this path. They do not know the result of devotional service is not material benediction. Krishna is not our Gurudev and our bona fide spiritual master, and Krishna, they are not our servants to satisfy our material needs. That okay, you keep supplying me all these things so that in this material world, I can live chain se, aram se. That is not the purpose. But so they do not know that the aim or the result of devotional service is not some material benediction, but because they engage in devotional service of the Supreme Lord, they ultimately come to understand that material enjoyment is not its goal. Automatically, it will happen because the system is getting cleansed. Cleaning is happening. What is it called? intense deep cleaning is happening just by doing devotional service. Therefore, they come to the point where automatically these things will come, the understanding will come. Lord Krishna says that persons who want some material benefit in exchange for devotional service are certainly foolish because they want something that is poisonous for them. Wow. Hare Krishna. What is Lord Krishna saying? That persons who want some material benefit in exchange for devotional service are certainly foolish because they want something that is poisonous for them. So material desires or anything material means what? It is it is tinted with sattvic, tamasic, rajasic guns, and it is tinted with the threefold miseries. It comes along with three gifts, the threefold miseries. And such persons who want any kind of material enjoyment, it could be a subtle enjoyment also. It is not necessarily that everything that we can see or anything that is tangible is only material enjoyment. It could be very subtle level also, that I am doing devotional service, I am doing kirtan, everybody should appreciate me. After my kirtan, everybody should say, wow, you sang so nicely. That is subtle. That is kirti. I want fame. I want people to know me. I want people to respect me. Similarly, this is applicable to any different case. It could be that, oh, I am doing this devotional service. I want others to appreciate me. If they are not appreciating me, then I am not interested. That is also subtle form of enjoyment only, material enjoyment. Wanting fame, any kind of sense gratification, anything that will give me pleasure is sense gratification, where Krishna is not the center. And so it is certainly foolish. Who is saying this? Lord Krishna, not me. And what is Lord Krishna saying? That they are wanting something that is poisonous for them. Yet, although a person may desire material benefits from Lord Krishna, the Lord, being all powerful, considers the person's position means, okay, he's a neophyte. He's still engaged in devotional service. He's still coming to me instead of going to some demigod. So, considering that person's position gradually liberates him from a materially ambitious life and engages him in more devotional service. So, ये यथा माम प्रपद्यन्ते ताम तथैव भजाम्यहम. Krishna is like, okay, he has said, Ma Shuchaha, don't worry, don't be fearful, don't be scared. If you surrender to me, I will liberate you from all your sinful reactions. Krishna has already promised that. So anybody who is engaged in even little bit devotional service, they may be in a very materialistic platform. They may have lot of material desires. Their ulterior motives may be there. But Krishna, being the supreme Lord, he is all powerful and he's also all merciful also. He considers that person's position that, okay, fine, no problem. He has so many past, itne to, he's carrying so many impressions from the past millions of birth. That's okay. But Krishna will gradually liberate that person from all those materially ambitious life. And finally, what Krishna will do? What is our ultimate purpose of doing devotional service? Once Srila Prabhupada was asked uh, by a reporter or by a scientist. I don't remember exactly that, but Srila Prabhupada was asked that what is the purpose? You are chanting this Hare Krishna. What is the purpose of chanting Hare Krishna? So Srila Prabhupada said, so that we can chant more Hare Krishna. That is the purpose of chanting Hare Krishna. What is the purpose of doing devotional service? We want to do more devotional service. We want to do intense devotional service. We want to get drowned in Krishna's devotional service. That is the ultimate goal. And that is what Krishna will do to a person who is engaging in devotional service. When one is actually engaged in devotional service, he forgets his material ambitions and desires. Is this a bad thing? What will happen? You are in this material world. What will happen if you forget your material ambitions and desires? You will become a happy person. Why do you want to become a happy person? Remain sad, keep suffering. Who wants to be a happy person? So, he forgets the material ambitions and desires, which is the cause, which are the shackles of all our suffering, our stress, our worries, our difficulties, problems, and eternally continuity of this cycle. That is what will end for that person who engages in devotional service of the Supreme Lord Krishna. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 19, Text 27. Satyam dishatyarthitam arthito ninam naivartha do yat punar arthita yatah swayam viddhate bhajata manichhata ichha pidhanam nijapada pallavam. Ichha pidhanam nijapada pallavam. Lord Shri Krishna certainly fulfills the desires of his devotees who come to him in devotional service. But he does not fulfill desires that would again cause miseries. He fulfills all the desires of his devotees. Whoever are approaching Krishna in devotional service, any desire that person has, Lord Krishna will certainly fulfill. But he does not fulfill those desires. Out foolishly, I'm asking, please burn my hand. Krishna, please cut off my head. Krishna will not fulfill that desire. I don't know that I am asking such a foolish thing because I am a fool, number one. But Krishna knows, if the throat is cut, then this person will die only. Therefore, he does not fulfill desires that would cause miseries to his devotees. In spite of being materially ambitious, such devotees, by rendering transcendental service to the Lord, are gradually purified of desires for material enjoyment, and they come to desire the pleasure of devotional service. There is happiness, there is something called happiness, and there is something called bliss, anand and sukh. Sukh is actually connected with body. It is on the bodily platform. We think that any little thing happens. My child's birthday party, we had so much fun. We think that is happiness. That is not happiness. That is bodily on the bodily level, that okay, my desire to do this and I'm seeing my child happy, I'm happy. But what if after the party, the very next day, the child falls sick? What happens? Falls sick, what happens? The happiness is done and gone. Ho gaya. One day party, next day you are suffering. But bliss is not like that. Anand is connected with the soul. No matter what the external situation is, when we are fixed up, when we know that the Supreme Lord Krishna is the doer and he is my supreme well-wisher, I may have suffered a huge loss in my business, but I know this is the best plan for me because Krishna knows what is best for me. When somebody has that kind of faith in Krishna, then they will only feel gratitude in every situation. Even when the child is sick, I know that this is the best plan of Krishna. My child is sick, that is definitely the best plan of Krishna, and Krishna will only give all the solutions. Even if the medicines don't work, Krishna himself will come and cure my child if required. That faith should be there. And even if he does not cure, anyways, the body is nashwar. The body will certainly perish one day. Not just me, not just my child, the entire world, anybody and everything that we are seeing, one by one, everything will get perished. That is the nature of this temporary world. Then what is there to fear? What is there to fear? Yes, there is going to be pain. As long as I live and if my dear ones are passing away, there will be pain, definitely. But our purpose is we have to engage in the devotional service of the Lord, because one day I am also going to die. What will happen after that? My Atma is not going to die. After I leave the body, then I'm going like a bhoot pret. I don't want to roam here and there. Bhatakna nahi hai mujhe. So put fuel your own engine. In Bengali, there is a saying, Nijer chorkhaয় tel dewa. Fuel your own machine, your own engine. If your direction is not set, then along with you, whoever is related to you, everybody will go on to the hellish side. But if your direction is set, one pure devotee in the family, the entire family is pure, is taken care by Krishna. The entire family will get delivered. Even if all others are unfavorable, even if all others are demons, even then everybody will get delivered. Just like Prahlad Maharaj's family. Prahlad Maharaj was one pure devotee and everybody was demon, but everybody got delivered. So this is true for you, me, everybody. So therefore, we have to first take care of our own system. Am I really doing sincerely? Instead of seeing others, am I really sincere? Is my consciousness in the right place? Am I really sincerely trying? Am I really sincerely listening to the instructions? If not, then I am going in the wrong track. What will I save my family? Nobody will be saved. Everybody will go in the wrong track. Guaranteed. But if I'm on the right track, everyone else will fall in place. Everything else will fall in place. And we have examples right now amongst all who are present here. Everybody is an example of this. I don't know about some, but few of them I'm very sure because I'm personally connected to them. So Lord Krishna fulfills the desires of his devotees who come to him in devotional service, but he does not fulfill desires that would again cause miseries. In spite of being materially ambitious, such devotees, by rendering transcendental service to the Lord, are gradually purified of desires for material enjoyment. He does not become nullified of desires. Not that now there are no desires. Not that desires are there, but all the desires are spiritual desires. Krishna, how can I serve you more? Acha, I want to do some Vaishnav seva because I know that when I serve the Vaishnavas, you are most pleased. Krishna is more pleased when we serve Vaishnavas. Krishna is more pleased when we take care of his dear ones. Just like if somebody has a child or aged parents and they love them dearly, and in their absence someone else is taking care of them. For example, let's say Kuheli Mataji is here. Now she's living alone. Now if she comes, she visits me, and I take very good care of her, will her parents be happy or will her parents be sad that, oh, she took such good care of our child, we are not happy at all? Obviously the parents will be happy. Similarly, Param Prabhushali Mataji, they have a child, Rina Mataji. So if the child comes to me and I take very good care of the child, will the parents be happy or will they be sad? Obviously be happy. Similarly, Krishna feels very pleased when we take care, when we serve, when we respect, when we love his dear ones. Who are his dear ones? His devotees. So when we serve the Vaishnavas, when we please the Vaishnavas, and we should also know what is going to please whom. It is not that mujhe kya lagta hai, it's not that what I feel is going to will please him. It is about what does that person really want. If we can serve the devotee in that manner, then Krishna is very pleased. It is the fastest way to receive Krishna's mercy actually. So um, so then they come to desire the pleasure of devotional service. Then they start tasting the nectar of devotional service. Then they get crazy. Then they get mad in the pleasure of devotional service. So what happens next? We are also going to see Dhruva Maharaja's example and few other things. So what happens next? Krishna willing, we will see tomorrow. Thank you very much, dear devotees. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंतकोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय. And while speaking, many times I I also go very deep, and sometimes I'm giving examples. So if anything is not right, it is obviously because of my anarthas. So please forgive me and please do not take any offense. And if there is anything that you feel that in your life it is helpful, then please know that it is the mercy of my spiritual master. It is the good qualities of my spiritual master and his causeless mercy that is showering. So please accept my apologies if I have spoken anything wrong or anything harshly. अ, हरे कृष्णा। श्रील जय पताका स्वामी गुरु महाराज की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि
हरी
बोल।
हरी
बोल।
बोल।
श्यामा करुणामयी माता जी की जय।
जय।
नित्यानंद गौरांग कुटी भक्त वृंद की जय।